One of the most powerful ways to create an inspiring, fulfilling life is to learn from those who came before us. How did they live their lives and what did and didn't work for them? Well, in this video are the 5 most common regrets people have at the end of their life so that you can focus on them now. What's up, you amazing human? My name is Ben Hart. In today's video, we're talking about the biggest regrets that people have at the end of their life so that you don't have to be like that. You can handle them now and make sure you get to the end of life feeling complete, feeling fulfilled as much as possible. If you dig this video, want to see more like it in the future, hit the subscribe button below. And if there's people out there you think would benefit from hearing this, hit the like button, leave a comment. It'll help them find this video. All right, so we're going to dive into the 5 regrets and how we can make sure that each of us knows about them, thinks about them, reflects on them such that we are engaging with them right now in our life and don't have to wait years down the road to feel like we regret this. So number 1, the biggest regret people have is feeling like they wish that they had lived a life that was true to themselves, not what others expected of them, but truly, authentically their own life. And that's so huge. That's the biggest umbrella I could think of in terms of getting to the end of our life. It's like, this is your life. We don't know what happens after this life. We have ideas, we have thoughts about it. We may have, insights or hopes about it, but we don't know. We know that we have this life right now. This is your life, and it's yours to make of it as you want. And it's so easy for all of us to take on the pressures of our families and our society and our culture and all these different things about who and what we should be. What we should do in our career, who we should marry, how we should live our lives, what we should show up as, And it's so huge, such a huge thing for us to claim who we are and to live a life on our own terms. And that doesn't mean we have to burn down our relationships and, burn down our, family connections and make everyone disappointed. Like, it can be a beautiful thing as we rise, as we expand into who we truly are. Yes, it may be hard for people as they don't understand us and they don't get us, whatever the case may be. Each of us will go through our own journey with that. But what I really want to encourage for each of us is to go through that journey, is to really put a stake in the ground of, I am me, this is my life, and I'm going to be true and authentic to who I am and live the life that is actually what is in my heart, is actually who I feel called to be and what I feel called to do. And so you can obviously imagine that, for those of us who choose not to do that, for those of us who turn away from the places of discomfort, the places of fear of, what might happen if we fully embrace who we are, if we fully show up and create the life that we're most inspired to, that, at the end of life, it can be very challenging. Of like, I really wish that I had been me. I really wish that I had not just moved through my life based on the expectations of others. And so, what I would recommend around this is if you feel challenged by this, if you feel struggle with this, really take the time to dig into who you are and what you really want. It's so easy to go near it and then flutter away from it, distract ourselves from it because we sense that it will be challenging for our life. We sense that some people won't like it. We sense that we might, lose love or lose respect. So much of how we operate in the world is wanting to be accepted, wanting to be part of the tribe. And it is such a big thing to claim the parts of us that might not be accepted. And usually we'll be surprised about what gets created when we do live as who we are, the tribe that does get formed around us. Because for whoever you are and however you want to live, there are people out there that will resonate with that and will love that. But I really recommend getting in touch with who you are, being, ruthlessly honest, being authentic, being true to yourself, and then beginning to learn to step out into being that more and more and more and more and more. I'll link down to a video that talks about, that I did before, that talks about, being fully ourselves, being freely ourselves, that can give you some more support in that piece if you want. But that is number 1, being fully ourselves, living our life on our terms, not based on others' expectations. All right, number two is I wish I hadn't worked so hard. I wish I hadn't worked so hard. You can imagine how so many of us live our lives. We're devoted to our careers. We want to, make money. We want to rise in whatever our profession is. Want to expand. We want to contribute, and it become all-consuming. It can become a thing where we are really, really deep in our work for years and years and years, if not decades and decades and decades. And you can imagine how we get to the end of our life, and so many people say, "Wow, I wish that I hadn't worked that hard. I wish I had put more attention on family, on creativity, on my hobbies, on travel, whatever the case may be for you. And so the offering here, because for sure working hard is a beautiful thing, especially if you have a deep purpose, a deep calling to your work, and you feel like you're in service to life. Like for sure, beautiful, work hard, yes. But you can imagine how even if that's the case, or if you just have a job that you're not really enjoying, it can be all-consuming. It can be a place where you can lose yourself, and then decades go by, and it feels like, wow, I never put as much time into the things that really matter to me. So the invitation there is to just consistently reflect on what is our relationship to work. Because working hard, as I said, is a beautiful thing, and it's a wonderful thing in the right moments, in the right durations, in the right times in our lives. And what is it to give yourself to the things that also really matter to you? Because work can really matter to you. That's beautiful. And what else really matters to you? And what would it be to find the way that you can feel like, wow, I'm giving my time and attention. I'm devoted to all the things that really matter. And that would shift and change over the years and over the decades, because it's not as if you can do everything you want all the time. But I think it's really important for all of us to consistently reflect on, what is my relationship to work? When I think about being 30 years, 40 years, whatever, down the line, if you're younger, but regardless, like what is it going to be like when I'm at the end of my life looking back at my relationship to work? Am I going to feel proud of the way I did this? Am I working hard enough, or am I working too hard? Am I not actually putting attention on all that matters to me? So I invite you to really consider that one. Number 3 is, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. I wish that I had the courage to express my feelings. So you can imagine with that one, there's so many different ways that could show up. It can show up back into like the first one of like being fully yourself, living your life on your own terms, but also can come down to relationships, and our desire to really be intimate with those we care about, and to really express what we feel and how we feel about everyone in our lives. Because there's, often at the end of an experience, when you move away from a place and you're reflecting back on your friends, or a relationship ends, you can reflect on the places where, oh wow, I had so much care or love for that friend, or that family member who passed away, and I wish that I'd shared it more. I wish I had been more transparent, more authentic, more effusive with my feelings, with my love, with my care, with my respect, with my admiration, whatever it is. So I invite you to really consider the places where you could be more expressive of what is true for you, and more expressive of your love and with the people you care about. So that's one big piece of it, and that's often what it is for folks. I think it's also really important to just notice, where could you be more expressed about your feelings overall? Where are there places where you might have a truth that might be uncomfortable to share, whether it's, something about what's going on in the world, or whether it's just something that you're noticing in a relationship, but being authentic about what's going on for you. Because the only possibility of creating more of what you want is if you're connected to your honest assessment, your honest feeling, your honest experience of it, and bringing that forward into the world. And yes, there are, skillful ways to do that and different ways to handle that. But the key is, where are you holding back what is actually true for you, and how can you do more of that? How can you express what is really yours to express? And for most people, the regret that they have at the end of life is not expressing the love, expressing the care, expressing the admiration. So my invitation is to really consider that with your own relationships, with your friends, with your family, even with just people you have less deep encounters with. Maybe there's places where you could express more that would feel really wonderful to you. So that is number 3. Wish that I had expressed my feelings more. All right, number 4 is that I wish that I had stayed in touch with my friends. I wish that I had stayed in touch with my friends. So that's a regret that many, many people have at the end of their life. With what I said before about like people regretting that they work so hard, it can become a place where we lose touch with people in our lives. Also, as we work hard, and then maybe some of us create families, like things can get very insular. And for sure, not everyone does that. For sure, many of us, stoke the fires of community and deep friendships. But this is a place for all of us to really put attention. Is like how easy it can become to create more and more narrowness in our life that we lose connection with people we care about. We lose connection with our friends over time. And what is it to nurture those relationships, and to not have to make it a huge, big thing of trying to hang on to relationships that are meant to transition away, but really be attentive to who we care about, what relationships we want to foster, and putting the time and attention and intention into doing so. And that can be very simple, just simple phone calls or various hanging outs. But the place where there's a beauty to creating more simplicity in life. There's a beauty to that narrowness where life, so many of us have such complex lives with career, family, trying to grow, trying to learn our hobbies, social media, keeping up with what's going on in the world. There's so much complexity, so much information we're constantly taking in. There's a beautiful thing to try to simplify. But often when people simplify, it actually becomes like a narrowing that strips away things that are actually really supportive to our lives, including friendships. So where are the places where we could invest more in friendship? We could put just a little bit more time and attention to making sure we keep those bonds strong. And then we can walk with people for years and decades together and not get to the end of our life wishing, wow, I wish I had stayed more in touch with my friends. All right. That's number 4. Number 5, the final one, is I wish that I had let myself be happier. I wish that I'd let myself be happier. Again, this connects back to number 1, which is kind of that overarching umbrella of like being authentic to ourselves. But this number 5, which letting ourselves be happier, is about enjoying life. Enjoying what is here, enjoying what is here now, being grateful for it, being excited about it, being able to connect to the beauty of what you have. Because so many of us, it's such a human condition to look to the future. If I have this, when I have this, then I will be happy, then I will be content, then I will be grateful. There's always the next level. There's always the further horizon to get to in terms of what our life can become, in terms of who we can become, and whether it's, materially, whether it's, internal development, whether it's career status, success, whether it's the relationship, whether it's the place to live, whatever it can be, there's always going to be more. And that's beautiful, and that life can be constant expansion and growth in that way. But at the same time, when we get to the end of our lives, there will still have been more. And if we're still waiting for that more to make us happy, we're going to have regret. We're going to wish we had just let ourselves be happy now. So how can we let ourselves be happy now? How can you just connect to the beauty of your life now? If nothing changed at all, what can you be happy about right now in this moment? What can you be grateful for? Your health, your connection to people, your inspiration, your creativity, your family, your whatever, your sense of identity, your humor, like who knows? There's so many things that are amazing about you and your life that you can be happy for right now. And I really see this as an important muscle and skill to build in our lives, to be grounded in the gratitude and the happiness and the awareness of what is glorious right now in this moment. Because there's always more. There's always more. And that's beautiful. Let's go on that journey to becoming. And right now there's being. I'll actually link a video below that's about being and becoming and those two energies, because it's so key to our happiness and our fulfillment in life to learn to dance with both of those. Learn to dance with all we're going to become, and to learn to dance with being right now and all that is beautiful right now. So let's not get to the end of our lives wishing we'd spent more time being happy. We can be happy right now. And yes, we'll have challenges and we'll have struggles and we'll have sadness and all that life brings. Like, that's not to say be falsely happy, but find the places where in being present, in being connected to the gloriousness of this now moment, that we can find happiness now. Find happiness in the little things and the simple things. Because, when it really comes down to it, like, yes, there are some ecstatic, elevated moments in life of like this huge accomplishment or this, big experience. But most of life is simple. Most of life is the mundane, and finding the joy in the mundane, finding the joy in the ordinary is so key to us being able to, one, live each day feeling happy, feeling fulfilled, feeling at peace, feeling inspired, and getting to the end of our life being like, wow, I really let myself be happy. I really let myself experience what it is to be in this beautiful life, what it is to be human, what it is to enjoy all that it is to be human. So I invite you to find the ways to be happy now, find the ways to let yourself enjoy the simple, find the ways to enjoy the ecstatic, all of it. Just let yourself come down into, get out of the treadmill of, if I have that, when I have that, then I can be happy. Yes, that may bring you happiness. That may be the next step that you want to take, and that's beautiful. Have places you want to go, and right now, happiness is available. All right, my friend, those are the 5 most common regrets that people have at the end of life. I hope that's supportive for you for how you can relate to life right now in a way that will allow you to have the most satisfaction, the most fulfillment, really get to the end of this wild, magical journey feeling complete, feeling fulfilled, feeling like you did it in the way that you wanted to. If you dug this video, want to see more like it in the future, hit the subscribe button below. And again, if there's people out there you think might benefit from this video, hit the like button. Leave a comment. It'll help them find it. It'll help more people not have regrets at the end of their life. All right, until next time, much love.